Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Karen's Kitchen. I'm going to do a dessert today in a skillet. It's a lot simpler. There's Erlene. Hi, Erlene. I wasn't sure I was going to come on today, but people have been wanting me to come on. I've explained to you before why I'm not coming on as much. There's my daughter. There, hi, sweetie. But I figured I would come in today and do a vegan chocolate fudge cake. It is vegan because I'm using carob powder and not cocoa powder. So it's a very simple recipe. I've got my oven going right now. As soon as it gets lit at 325, then I'll be able to put this in there. I've got 4 tablespoons of coconut oil in here right now. That's part of it. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Welcome, sweetie. And I was just measuring out this has got almond butter. I used all the almond. Yes, I did, Erlene. I made my, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, I made my, that I made it here before, the zucchini potato bake, and it went over really, really well. It got all eaten up except for maybe a tablespoon that I just brought that home and ate it this morning. But anyway, and I made the carob peanut butter pie. That was gone too. Of course, I knew it would be. So it went over real good. And what I did with the zucchini potato bake is I put some of the Daya shredded cheese on top and let it melt through when it was baking. Oh, it was so good. I thought, well, I'm just going to add a little Daya cheese to it. And one of the gals at church, she says, "Is that Daya cheese?" I said, "Yes, it is." She says, "I use that all the time." So she knows what Daya cheese is. So, actually, she asked me what my vegan cheese was. I told her it was Daya. And I asked her, I said, "Do you use Daya?" She says, "Yes, I do." So, there you go. There are people out there that love Daya cheese and use it too. So, anyway, I'm getting people in here, and I thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to put this down so that you can see into my skillet, because that's what you want to see, because that's what I'm doing. And I don't have the burner. Well, I had the burner on. I'm about to turn it off now because I was melting that, so I'll turn the burner off now. I just have to remember. Okay, and I have 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, which is in there, and a half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Everybody knows that I use carob powder. So let me get out my measure here, and I'll measure out a half a cup. Since I used that other cup for the almond butter, I'm going to use that. Let me get another spoon. Got all my dishes washed on Friday, and I'm going to have a bunch to do again, I know. And carob is just as good as chocolate. In fact, it's even a little bit better. I'll dump that in there. Whoa, I gotta dump that. I'm gonna dump that in there right now. But I'm gonna put this away first. I don't want to get that. I don't want anything to spill. I mean, almost spilled the cocoa powder or the carob. Don't want to do that. Okay. It says, whisk the rest of the ingredients. Whisk well until you have a smooth mixture. And I'm not going to use the whisk from Pampered Chef. I'm going to use this one because I don't want to scratch my pan. Oh, thank you for the super hearts. You guys are awesome. Let's see, 1/2 cup unsweetened cocoa. I'm going to put this in here. Now, that's to get all over everything. As you know, cocoa powder stuff gets all over everything. But I will clean it up as I go. Kind of wash everything later anyway. Okay. Pure maple syrup. I have to get my maple syrup out. I forgot to get that. I'm going to get that out. And this is my pure maple syrup. I love this stuff. Okay. And I'll put it on this. I'll put this, since this is for the liquid part. I'm going to put, since the maple syrup is liquid, I'm going to use the liquid part. Use this part here, and it says 1/4 cup. So that doesn't take very doggone much. Everybody knows this is the measure all. I love these measure alls. These are so versatile. Everything works so well with the measure all. This will all be whisked eventually. So, okay. And a cup of almond butter. Here's my almond butter. Welcome to those that are just coming in, and thank you for coming in. Thank you for inviting your followers. Careful that don't ruin the side of the skillet. I don't want to ruin my skillets. I know Erlene got hers ruined and had to get some new ones, and I don't want to have to do that, so I'm going to be careful with it. Okay. A half a teaspoon of baking powder. Put this up here so I don't. Oh, I just love it when the ads pop up and then you lose your recipe. 1/2 a teaspoon. Okay. I'll put this back. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and see what else I need here. Because I lost all my, okay. I have 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of extract. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I got bananas that go in there too, so I'm going to put the bananas in there. Don't want to forget those. I'll put those in there the last thing. And a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'll put my bananas in there. I've already mashed those. I had some real ripe bananas, and I thought, well, that's a good way to use them up. Mess here, but I'll clean that up in a little bit. All right, now let me go ahead and whisk this a little bit. See if I can whisk it and how well it's going to work. Probably could have put it in a bowl to whisk it, but I think it'll be okay in here. If not, I can just do it in a bowl and then pour it in here. So let's get it all whisked together. Just have to whisk it till it's smooth. Get everything mixed together. What's separating is the coconut oil. Yes, it was. It was, yeah, mashed bananas. Mashed bananas, Erlene. That's what it called for. 2 bananas that I mashed. And they were getting to the point where they aren't going to last much longer. So I thought, well, that's a good way to use them. Use them in a recipe that calls for. Trying to get this all. That's why you have to whisk it. It kind of gets the lumps out. So you can see it. We'll whisk this until I get it all mixed together. And that's why I'm using this and not the whisk that come with Pampered Chef, because I don't want to scratch the bottom of this. Although it won't flake off, but I don't want to put little indentations into it. I'm already started getting that on some of my other ones, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to, and this is a silicone whisk. It works just as well. So I'm just going to, I'm more for using silicone stuff on stuff that you can't hurt. As you can see when I'm whisking, how it's getting it all together. I want to make sure I got everything. I should have now. Okay, I believe so. Okay. And it has to be in there about 15-20 minutes. I have it's still heating up yet, and as soon as it gets heated up, then I'll put this in there. It lets me know when it's heated. The other day, on Friday, or yesterday, I baked my thing for potluck yesterday. I made it on Friday and baked it yesterday. It took a while for that to get 400 degrees. But I baked it for 45 minutes instead of an hour, and it came out really good. I can get this off the sides there. Pardon my fingers, but they're nice and clean, but get that off there. And I don't want that to burn on the skillet when it's baking. See how it's coming out? It's coming out nice and smooth. Yeah, there's Carmen. You can see her down there, yeah. She's hunting for something. And those of you that didn't come in Friday in my Periscope on Buttercup, she's doing good, except she's not having that cone. She's trying to scratch her ear, and she couldn't scratch her ear, and I said, you're scratching the cone. She doesn't like that cone. She wants it to come off. But unfortunately, she has to have it on at least 14 days, 10 to 14 days, so it won't come off until the 20th. And I feel sorry for the poor thing. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, she's got to be miserable with that on there because that's not fun at all. But it's for her own protection. I don't want her to get her sutures and start licking on them and ruining her sutures. Let me get this skillet cleaned off on the bottom so it don't stick in the ruining skillet. But she doesn't understand that. Dogs don't understand stuff like that, you know. They think we're out to harm them. Yeah, that's what they do. They think we're out to harm them. So, well, I don't know where everybody went. Yeah, she had a hip that needed to be put back into place on her right or her left rear leg. She couldn't walk on it, and that's what got me worried in the first place, and that's why I called the vet and got her in there because she wasn't walking on it, and I didn't know what she had done to it, if she had broken it or what she had done to it. And they did an X-ray on it, and she said, well, her hip is out of place, and the problem of it was her hip was out of place so bad it was clear to her pelvis. The only thing she had to go to the animal hospital, and they thought they would have to perform surgery on her. The only thing she had to do was take a clamp and pull the pit back into place. And that was expensive enough. So she didn't have to do the actual surgery on her. I'm thankful for that. So, and she checked it Thursday, and she said the hip is still strong. It's still hanging in there. So I'm glad of that. So it still looks good. But she's not allowed. Yeah, I know. It was. And she can put it down on the floor right now because she doesn't have her bandage or anything on, but she won't put it on the floor. And I'm not going to force her to put it on the floor. I'd like for her to. The the doctor thought she would, but she isn't yet. So when they call me, I'm going to tell her that she's just not putting it down on the floor. But she does have her bandage off. She didn't really want to take it off that soon, but she thought, well, her leg is doing well enough that she's going to take it off. So she did. Clean this up on the bottom so when I put it in the oven, it doesn't get the oven messy. So, let's see what say here. Banfield is way too expensive. Oh, I tell you, I've taken my dogs to Banfield, and boy, I come out of there broke. Let me tell you, it's really, really, really bad. It's really, really bad. I'm going to see how much more this has got to go to heat this up. And then I can put it in there because this will tell me how much longer it's got to go to heat up. Let's see. Oh, it's got 8 minutes yet. I'll wait till it gets heated up, and then I'll put this in. So, we'll just stand here, and I can oh yeah, this is what it looks like, and it's going to go in there as soon as that heats up. I want to make sure I get this mixed good in there. But when you have pets, you want to take care of them. You want to do the best for them. And sometimes you can do the best for them and they think you're hurting them. But you're not really hurting them. You're giving them what they need. But see, a dog doesn't understand that. You know, they think that collar hurts. You know, it's probably uncomfortable. You know, she doesn't really like it. She's not having any of it. But I can't take it off of her. I want to take it off of her at night. But I'm afraid if she wakes up in the middle of the night starts licking her sutures, I'll be in trouble. Let me get some water. So I don't take it off. I leave it on her. I mean, it costs me, I think, $34 for the cone, but I've got it. If I ever need it again for any of the dogs, I've got one, so I don't have to worry about that. And she's on an antibiotic, a real small. And I'll show you the bottle. $30-some for this bottle of antibiotic. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. This is the bottle. $30-some for that. And you see it's getting down. It's only good until next Sunday. It expires next Sunday. I have to give this to her twice a day in the syringe. This here, it's got the red mark on it. Where that red mark's at, I just fill it up to that red mark and give it to her. Trying to get her mouth open to get this in there is no trick. It's really a trick because she won't open her mouth. She doesn't like the stuff. Probably doesn't taste very good, but this is the antibiotic because basically what happened was when she had her bandage on, she started licking it, and she got a pressure sore on her where she licked it, and she got it infected. So that's what the antibiotic is for, to clear up that infection. and she had to suture it. So there's 2 sutures, and that's why she's wearing the cone, so she does not lick the sutures, because once they had the cone on her, their cone, and they took it off of her after they sutured her, the first place she headed was for those sutures. And they says, nope, we're not having it. So they told me, you're going to have to put a cone on her. So I just said, well, I better buy a cone. You know, I don't want her ruining those sutures. But this has to stay in the refrigerator, and I got to shake it every time I go to give it to her. So I'll put this back. Oh, goodness. Oh, just a minute here. Things are starting to fall out. Things are falling out that I didn't sit in here too good. Just a minute. I'll be right back. There we go. Okay. And you could see that little bottle. I can't believe it. $30-some for that antibiotic. I don't have to pay. I didn't have to pay to have her sutured. That I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to pay to get the sutures out either. That's a free, that's complimentary. Thank goodness for that. And I only had to pay for the bandage once, and that was the first time they put it on her, which was $152.50. So you can bet your bottom dollar that every time she went outside, I made sure I had it wrapped up real good in plastic with a rubber band so she wouldn't get it wet. Hi, Richard. Good to see you. I haven't got my thing in the oven yet, but here's what it looks like before I get it in the oven. That's going to be a good cake. I'm waiting until this gets heated up. It's got a little more than 4 minutes, and I want to get it completely heated up. But anyway, so she's just not having any of this, you know. It's just, I feel sorry for her. You know, she comes out and they have this cone on her head and everything, and the poor thing, I'm thinking, well, it's called the cone of shame, you know, and I don't like it. But hi, good to see you, Richard. I don't like it, but I certainly don't want her ruining her sutures, because that could spell trouble if she, if she gets them wet. But like I said, I made sure every time she went outside, even in the middle of the night, I'd wake up in the middle, she'd have to go to the bathroom. So I'd take her out in the middle of the night. I'd bring her out in the kitchen. She'd lay down on the floor. I'd have to wrap her in plastic with a rubber band, make sure that she didn't get her bandage wet. She'd run outside. That's the first thing she'd head for is her bed. So I'd have to go run in there into the bedroom, take the plastic back off, come back out here and lay it out on the kitchen table, because I knew where it was at that way. I'm so glad I don't have to do that now. But I just have to make sure that she keeps that collar on. You know, she doesn't like it. My daughter was wondering how it is for her to sleep. I noticed last night she was sleeping on her side. So she can sleep on her side with the collar. I know it's probably uncomfortable, but she can sleep, you know, as best she can. You know, and you know that the 20th is going to come soon enough, and she's going to have it off and have her sutures out, and she should be a lot better. But this is what they told me. She has to be quiet the next 2 to 4 weeks. She cannot walk. I cannot take her out for walks. If they want to walk, I have to walk them and leave her home. After that, or carry her or put her in a wagon or a scooter or something, because she cannot get out and walk. She can only walk here at home around the house or out in the backyard to do her business, and that's it. So, therefore, when I take them for a walk this afternoon, she's going to have to stay home. I know it's not going to bode very well with her, but it's for her own good, because I don't want her hurting herself any more than she already has. You know, and I've got a little more than 2 minutes to go, and I'll put this in there. But it's terrible that, you know, an animal has to go through all this. But, you know, they don't understand that it's for their own good. You know, she has to be kept safe, and the only way I can do that is do what I can for her. Yeah, I know, it won't be, but the problem of it is, once she gets those sutures out, is she going to want to put pressure on it and put it on the floor? She won't do it right now. Maybe she thinks she can't or something. I don't know. And she doesn't have the bandage up, because when she had the split and the bandage on, it was way up in the air. It was way up high. It was up to her thigh. Now it's not. And it's just a couple inches off the floor, but she won't put it down. She just decides that she wants to, you know, hop on 3 legs. But, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask her tomorrow if she calls, what can I do to get her to walk on it? The thing of it is, I hate to pull on her leg and then pull the hip out of its socket. That's what I'm thinking too, Early, and she might be afraid. That's possible. She may be afraid. But she cannot, also, the doctor said, no jumping on anything. She wants up on my chair. She cannot get up there. Like my daughter says, but maybe it's not getting up as much as it is jumping down. And that makes sense because when you jump down, you land on all fours. I think the last time she jumped off the couch is what did it, because she landed wrong or something, and that's when the hip popped out of place. So but I think after this she's going to be afraid to jump up on the couch, and I might get her some steps if she wants to get up on the couch or whatever. That she can climb up on steps that way. I know PetSmart has them, Amazon has them. Get her some steps that she can climb up on, and it'll be a little bit better for her that way. And she won't hurt herself, because I don't want her jumping down and then end up, landing on it again and hurting it for the second or third time. So I don't want that, because when she first landed, I didn't know what happened. I thought maybe she broke it. She wasn't in pain or anything that I know of. She didn't cry out or anything, but she just started holding up in the air, and that's what scared me, and that's why I took her to the vet immediately. I thought, what the heck is going on? This dog is holding her leg up for some reason. What is the problem? So that's when they x-rayed it and said, well, her hip was out of place. And there at the vet's office, they couldn't do it anyway. They didn't have the equipment to do it, so they suggested the animal hospital. So that's where I take her to the animal hospital, and I don't have to go in until the 20th to get her sutures out. But I really appreciate the work they do there at the hospital. However, I don't care for the cost. The cost is astronomical. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I have to stop this in order to get that. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Whoops, no, I don't want that. Oh, don't. No, I don't want. I'm going to have Alexa set the time anyway. Okay, come on, get this off. Okay, now let me go here and put this down to 325, and then I'll hit start. Okay, it's on 325. It's done. And I'm going to put this in the oven. And I'm going to take the handle off because I want to set this back. And you can watch me, as long as the handle there, the handle goes right off. Okay. Alexa, set the timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
It's a lot easier.
By the way, time goes faster with music on. Would you like me to play music now?
No. No, Alexa. See, she asks all kinds of stuff. So, if you don't have Alexa, oh man, I have so much fun with her. This is National Pizza Day. When I say good morning this morning, she told me it's National Pizza Day. And just the other day, it was 85 years since the first Monopoly board had come out. And it was only about $2 the day it came out. Can you imagine? It's been around for 85 years. I used to play that all the time when we were growing up. And even when my kids were growing up, we started playing Monopoly. It can be a long game, long drawn-out game. But you know something? I think it's a fun game because you learn a little bit about real estate. You learn what it is to bargain and stuff like that. I think it's a lot of fun. So I played it a lot. It's one of the better games out there. I used to have it. I might still have it even in my games. I may still have it, but I can't believe it. It's 85 years. Hi, Natasha. Good to see you. I've got my cake in the oven right now. It'll take about 15 minutes to do. But anyway, what's everybody's weather doing today? I know my daughter's got fairly decent weather. We've got fairly decent weather too. Let me ask Alexa, what's the weather today?
In Eugene, it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, with a high of 48 degrees and a low of 31 degrees.
Oh, good to see you too.
Good afternoon.
It's good to see you too. So we're 45, it'll be a high of 48 with a low of 31 tonight. We were very cold this morning, 33 degrees this morning. 57, so you're warmer there than, that's getting nice spring weather now. 57 degrees. Yeah, we're only 45, so it's actually a little cold to walk the dogs. 31, yeah, you're cold. You're like we were this morning. We were 33 this morning. Woke up freezing, man. Oh, and it's snowing again? Oh, no. Oh, the snow must love you. Oh, good go. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. The snow must love you guys, Erlene. It really does. It seems like you sure get a lot of it, don't you? Oh, my goodness, you get a lot of it. Yeah, you're right. It's winter. It looks like our weather forecast, for a while, we're going to be 45, 50 degrees during the daytime and maybe 35, 40 at night. So that isn't too awful bad. Yeah, I know. I used to live in Indiana. Our weather was very severe there. It was not uncommon to get well below zero. And the wind chill would even be worse. If the wind chill hit, it'd be 35, 40 below. and it was terrible. You grew up in Illinois. Well, you know how cold it is then, because Illinois can get that way too. I grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, is where I was born and raised. But we lived out on the farm in LaPorte County, Indiana. My daughter can tell you. Yeah, probably. But we did get, there was one, I think it was one winter. It was in November, I believe it was. We got a foot of snow and we didn't have all our corn out yet. It was still sitting in the field and we didn't have it, and we couldn't harvest for a while because that foot of snow, and it just took all the darn corn right on down to the ground. It did. It took it right down. And that was really a bad snowstorm. I don't know if it was expected or not, but there in Indiana, you can expect weather like this. You know, snow, blustery cold, and usually always around my birthday. Every year around the week of my birthday, we would have a blizzard. Never seemed to fail. Never seemed to fail because I could always expect it. And it always ended up happening. Well, now that I'm in Oregon, you know, I can expect anything now. I mean, we don't get much snow, but we can get really cold. We can get a lot of rain. Thank goodness we don't get a lot of snow because snow, I just don't like it. I can live without it. I can live without snow, but you know something? It's like Arlene said, it is winter. And snow's going to come whether you want it to or not. We can't stop the weather, you know. We can only stay safe in it, you know. If you have to drive in it, you got to be careful. And my son doesn't want me driving in the snow. He tells me, he says, Mom, if it starts snowing outside, don't you get out in it. And I don't. We've had church canceled, not this winter because we've had a fairly decent winter, but last winter we had enough snow in 2018, early 2019 that we had to, we can't, church was canceled a few times because it got so bad. Really got bad. I mean, it would be ice on the ground and they just didn't want people risking it, so they'd close the church up. So, but I wouldn't have gone anyway because it was so bad. I mean, I know what it's like to drive on black ice. It's no fun. You drive just inch along, and you know you get nowhere fast. Let me tell you, you get nowhere fast. But he doesn't really want me getting out in the bad weather, and I don't really want to either. I don't trust myself to drive in the snow. It's for a simple fact that here in Oregon we don't get that much, and if you haven't driven in the snow much, you don't really know what it's like to drive in the snow. And when you get it, you're petrified. I know I am. Well, Arlene, it's common for her to get a lot of snow, so she pretty much knows how to drive in it. Doesn't worry. You know, she still has to be careful, but at least she knows what to expect when snow falls. Here, we really don't know what to expect. So we have no snow plows here. So when it snows, there's nothing to clean the roads off with, so they just let the roads clean themselves off. If the sun comes out and it warms up, then it melts it off. Otherwise, we have no salt trucks. But I guess from what my daughter said, right now, they don't use the regular salt like they used to, because back in Indiana, we'd have vehicles that it looked like they had rusted right through. I imagine, no matter what weather. He doesn't understand that it's not safe. It's dangerous. But I can understand him being autistic. He's going to do that. But I just don't, I'm not sure of the weather. When it's bad weather, I'm not going to drive out in it. I'm just going to stay, I got to let the dogs out. You want to go out? Okay, come on. Let's go. Come on. Go out. Oh, she had to bark at something. Oh, the Jeep does better? Yeah, I bet it does. Well, I just got a sedan, a four. What are we cooking today? Well, I'm making a vegan chocolate banana skillet cake. It's all right. Just put it in the oven. It's got 15 minutes. It's got almond butter in it. I'll give you what it has in it. It's got simple ingredients, not that many, but I'll tell you what the ingredients are. It's got coconut oil, which goes in my skillet. And this is a skillet recipe, and I've got a Pampered Chef skillets, so they go right from the stove to the oven, which I like. That's why I have them. Okay, the coconut oil went into my skillet, but it's got unsweetened cocoa powder, which I don't use that. I use carob powder. I do too, and that's what I used earlier. I used 2 overripe bananas. I mean, they go south fast, let me tell you. Well, that's 1 cup of mashed bananas, about 2 medium bananas, 1 cup. So I didn't measure it out. I just took 2 bananas and mashed them up real good. A 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup, or to taste. A cup of almond butter. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And I suppose if you don't have almond butter, you could probably use peanut butter too. I don't see why not. It's just whatever you have. Half a teaspoon of baking powder, which is the non-aluminum. A quarter teaspoon of salt, and I use the sea salt, and a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's what I put in. That's all it calls for. Put it in the skillet. Then you whisk everything up together till it gets nice and smooth. And then you put it in your oven for 15 to 20 minutes. I've got it in there for 15 minutes. And it should be good and done. It should taste good too. And this is in the 10-inch skillet. Pampered chefs, I like their skillets because you can put them in the oven. It's supposed to be, a lot of the skillet recipes I have are for iron cast skillets. Or cast iron, or whatever you want to call it. Well, these are just like cast iron. These are four layers of titanium. So to me, it's just as good as a cast iron skillet. So that's why I use them. But they're good up to, I think, 480 degrees, I believe. I think that's what it is. Alexis could tell you, but 480 degrees. And the handles, you take I like these because the handles come off. These you cannot put in the oven because these will melt. They're not oven friendly. And I like it because you can take them on and off, put them on and take them off. That's what impressed me about the Pampered Chef skillet. When I first saw them demonstrated, I think it was Alexis that demonstrated it, or did I see it on YouTube? I'm not sure where I saw it. But I thought, man, those are neat. You know, because I've never had skillets ever where the handles came off. And you know your cast iron skillets, the handles get really hot. And you have to have a hot pad on your skillet handle. You know, well, here the handle comes off. The handle is nice and cold. So when I pull it out, I can just put the handle right back on, you know, and that makes it simple. I love the Pampered Chef skillets. They are expensive. There's 6 pieces to a set. The only one that you don't get with the set is the 12-inch. I had to buy that on my own. Oh, they are? Cast iron skillets? Oh, that's awesome, Erlene. That's awesome. Well, we could probably, if I get one of those, I could use those instead of the skillets I have now. But, you know, these still work just as well. But will the handles come off of those? Will you be able to take the handles off, or are they just going to be because I didn't see her broadcast when she talked about them. You're loving the stainless steel pan. I don't have that one. Who's mad at me? Somebody's mad at me. Okay, what did I do? Please enlighten me. What did I do? Somebody said they're mad at me. Who's mad at me and what's mad at me? I mean, you have to explain yourself because I don't understand what you meant. These are mad at you. Oh, no. They're outside. They're barking at dogs. Something. Well, Carmen thinks there's a dog out there, so she's barking. She always barks at everything, you know, whether there's a dog out there or not. She thinks she hears something. She'll be in the bedroom in her bed, and she'll think she hears something outside. She'll start growling, and she'll run through the house growling, going to the door, want me to let her out. And if I don't let her out, she'll come up to my chair, and she'll whine and whine and whine at me and look at me like, are you going to let me out? And she's got those sad eyes of hers. And I say, well, you need to go outside. The first thing she says, she heads to the door. So she knows what going outside means. So she'll head to the door, and she'll wait for me to open up the door, and out she goes. But no, they're not really mad at me. She's just out there barking at something anyway. I'm gonna have to get my hot pads up, so when this comes out, I can put them on there. Just a minute. You're okay, Carmen. She just loves the bark. I love these hot pads. I got these for Christmas for my daughter-in-law. She has them herself. There's 5 that come in a set. These are awesome. I like the backs of them. These are so nice. As I said, I needed some hot pads, and she got me some real nice ones. Oh, you're making a squash, you know? I don't know. I've never tried that yet. That's the one I have not tried to make yet. I'm a little leery of it. I don't like squash that much. I do like pumpkin, but I know it's from the pumpkin family. But I really don't like squash that much. But you mean the butternut squash one? Because that's the one I haven't tried yet. And I should try that sometime on here. I haven't made it yet. I know Alexis has made about every one there is. She's made them all. Oh, are they? Awesome. She's really having a time out there. She's out there barking for something, barking at something. Anyway, I wanted to come in here today to show you that you can do things on your own. You can do things that make things from my house to your house, and they be awesome because you know what's in them. You're not relying on the manufacturers, because you know the manufacturers put so many bad chemicals in their foods, and my daughter's beginning to realize that now. She's getting to the point where when she goes out to buy food, she looks at the ingredient list, because the one ingredient that you do not want to have, and I look every time I want something, and it's got that silly carrageenan in it, and it makes me so doggone mad because that thing looks so good, but it's carrageenan, and the carrageenan will be harmful to you. So anything with carrageenan, I leave alone. I don't even touch it. It's not good for your immune system, and my grandson's fiance cannot have anything with carrageenan, so my daughter has to watch that anyway, but she doesn't want to give that to the boys. So she's careful what she feeds the boys, because you know, and you have to just adjust your lifestyle to certain things. You may not be able to buy what you. Yeah, they do, Early, and a lot have them. And if you don't look at the ingredient list, you don't know. You'll be putting that in your body. That's why it behooves everybody. And since I've been talking on here and been doing these scopes, my daughter's gotten to the point where she starts looking at the ingredient list too. You have to. Because stuff that she was buying for the boys started in, like popsicles and stuff, ended up having carrageenan in them. I make my sometimes I make it from scratch, and sometimes I buy vegan cheese. I like the Dia vegan cheese. There are slices, there are shreds. I do sometimes I'll buy them if I want a sandwich with cheese on it, or I want let's say a toasted cheese sandwich. I'll buy the slices, the vegan slices, and put them on bread and toast it. You know, and I'll do it that way, which I haven't had toasted cheese in a long time, but I do like it that way. But if it has to come to cheese sauce or stuff, no, I'll make that myself. There's a cheese sauce that Arlene and I make that goes in the mac and cheese. So it just depends. Alexa, stop the timer. Okay, this is good. I'm going to turn this off. All right, now you can hear the timer just went off. Let me get this. Should be good now. Carmen! Try and get the handle back on. If I can't put the handle back on, then I'm going to pull it out just the way it is. So bear with me, will you? It's not always easy to get this handle on and off, as you're going to find. I can get it off real easy, but sometimes I can't get it back on like I'm supposed to. It gets on there, but not all the way. Well, let me just do it. It's kind of hard when it's in it. Okay, I can do it this way. It's up. Yeah, these hot pads are nice. Okay, let's put that way. There we go. Okay, I gotta shut this off. Oh, I did. It's off now. Okay, would you make this? Look at this. This looks real. Let me put the handle on, and then I can hold it up and show you. The handle will become on easier when it's sitting down on there. Now, oh, look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? And you can see it's splitting away from the sides, so it's good and done. It's good and done. You can make it yourself. And when I saw this, it's a cake, I thought, oh, that's awesome. I love chocolate cake. But it sure did, didn't it? Well, but chocolate cake, you can't, when you buy the cake mix, you got to look at what you're buying. But you make it yourself. It's very simple to make it yourself. You know, and if those that are not vegan, you want to use your cocoa powder, go right ahead and use the cocoa powder. I use carob, which is better for you than cocoa powder, but I'm not going to tell you have to be vegan, but that's the way I made this completely vegan, and it's going to be good, I know. I love cake, and I'm not going to cut this yet because it's too hot, but you can make it yourself, and you know what you've got in it. You can look at the ingredient list and say, aha, that's what I put in there. You know what you put in it. I know what I put in it because I got it right here. I put in carob powder, I put in 1 cup of bananas, which would be two medium-sized bananas, and maple syrup, and almond butter, baking powder, teaspoon of salt, and vanilla. And that's all it has in it. Very simple recipe. Not much to it, but it's got enough in it that it's going to be good. I mean, look at this. I like that. Look at that. See, and it's splitting away from the sides. You can see how it's splitting away from the sides. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's really... And it looks so good. I mean, oh, man. This is gonna be awesome. Let me try I think it'll be good and done. Let me try this. I think there should be no problem. Oh yeah. There's not much to it. It was only about 15 minutes. You want it to be gooey anyway. Oh, good. Yeah. I think if anybody loves chocolate, they're going to love this. Simple to make. And I'm starting to make a lot of skillet recipes because they're easier to make. Very easy to make. It doesn't take very long, and your skillet and all can go right in the oven. And that's why I like doing these, because I can mix everything up in my skillet. Don't have so many dishes to wash. I still have enough from yesterday I got to wash, but stuff, don't have to wash that much. And everything is done in one skillet, and it's done. I just have to wash my skillet later. I had fried potatoes in it for lunch, so all I did was just kind of wipe it out a little bit and use it for my cake. Because these things just practically clean themselves. There isn't much to them, you know. They're nice. They're nice skillets. They're non-stick. They're awesome. So, but I hope that you guys try this, because I think that your family's going to love it. If you've got kids, my daughter's got kids, and I don't know if they like chocolate or not. I know she does. I'm not sure if my son-in-law does or not. But if they like chocolate, maybe they'll try it. Now, my son, he is not for chocolate. Oh, thank you for the super hearts, Erlene. He is not for chocolate. He does not like chocolate. He used to when he was growing up. But when it comes to chocolate now, he won't eat it. He won't eat it. So my carob peanut butter pie, he never got any of it yesterday. She never gave it to him because he didn't like it. Well, see what it was is he had to preach at another church yesterday. And then he had to come back to teach his Daniel Bible study class. And for those of you that weren't in to see the Daniel Bible study class, I periscoped that, so you go back and watch that. Anyway, he came back to do that. Yeah, you're just a little too far. You're right. Anyway, I saw my granddaughter go through the line, and she said, "I'm getting food for my dad." You know, somebody was asking, and she said, "I'm getting food for my dad because," and it's a good thing she did, because if she hadn't got the food for him, by the time he got there, the food was gone. They had already cleaned the tables off and everything. There was a lot of stuff gone, not much left. So she got his dishes set already and put him in the kitchen on the counter so he could just sit and eat and then have the Bible study class afterwards. So it worked out really well. He's going to have the Bible study class again in 2 weeks. He wants to start on the book of Revelation maybe sometime this spring, so that'll be good. But I'll probably stay in 2 weeks again. Fix something else. Like I said, I fixed the zucchini potato bake because I thought, well, it'd be simple enough. It was simple enough. It was very, very good. It's got peppers in it. It's got garlic in it. I had 3 zucchini in it, more than what it called for, and 3 big potatoes instead of 3 medium potatoes. And I put it in a 9x13 dish. It would come out so good. Baked it for 45 minutes instead of an hour. They called for an hour, and I thought, well, for a convection oven, I don't have to put it in there that long. 45 minutes was good. It was good and done, and it stayed hot. Even when I got up to church, it was still hot. So that's good. But I'm glad that I was able to contribute. And we had a lot of food, but it went fast because we had a lot of people eating too. Some people will stay for potluck that don't even bring food. And you know, that's not right. You know, they've invited me to stay sometimes too. And I says, no, I'm not going to. If I don't bring food, I'm not going to stay, because that's like a scrounging. You know, the guests, we understand that. But if there are people staying that don't bring food, that's not really right. They should bring something. You know, even if it's a lasagna, or if it's a garlic bread or something, you know, just something small. Just bring something, but don't come to the potluck unless you have food. I won't go unless I have food, because I always tell my son, no, I'm not staying because I don't have food. So, and when I go to the Veneta church, they don't expect me to bring food. They says, you're our guest and you come, you know, you don't have to bring anything. So and there's not as much food there as there is at our church, because they don't have that many people. So I'm careful what I eat there. But I just don't believe in staying for potlucks unless the food is provided by me. You know, if I can't make something, then it's just because it's not fair. It really isn't. You know, I don't want. And next week is a potluck again. We have a potluck every Sabbath except the first one. I will not be staying next Sabbath. I won't be making anything. I won't be staying. So I'll probably stay the following Sabbath. Yeah, you can do that. You can bring too much. And most of the time, when I take anything, it's usually gone before, and I don't have to bring it home, which is a good thing. because I don't like to have to bring leftovers home. I'd rather be eaten up. Well, you take too much early, and if it's not eaten, then you can always eat it yourself. You know, you and Brandon and Bruce can always eat it, so that's a good thing. But with just me, I don't want anything left over. So when I made it in that 9x13 dish, there was plenty. People were taking it left and right. By the time I got to it, it had already been delved into quite a bit. So people were really liking it. They asked me what it was, and I told them. They says, man, this is good. So it went over big. So now I got to find something to fix for the next one I stay for. So I'm between now and then, I'm going to be looking for a good vegan dish. Good. I'm going to be looking for a good vegan dish to fix, and for 2 weeks so that see how fast that'll go. You know, now I usually take a casserole and take a dessert. Sometimes I take bread. Sometimes I don't. Yesterday I didn't. There was so much food anyway. There was always more than enough food. There was salad. I had a green salad too. So we really had a lot of nice food. So, but I would rather make my own food and take it because I know what my food is. You know. Hi, Benita. Good to see you. Welcome. Here is my skillet cake. It came out of the oven. You'll have to go watch the replay to see how I made it. But it was very simple to make. It's going to taste good. I use carob powder in it, not cocoa powder. I'm going to post this up on my vegan page so people can see it. What I'll probably do is let it cool down a little bit, then cut into it, and then let people see what it looks like cut into. It does, doesn't it? But it's awesome that you can make stuff like this in a skillet. I want to do more of this. And I find my recipes on Pinterest. There's so much out there. There's no lacking of recipes, you know. And when my daughter calls me, I'm looking on Pinterest. I mean, I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, looking for one recipe after another I'm looking at. I've got so many saved now. I've got different boards, and I save recipes when I think that they're fit and I can make them. I'll save them. If there's something that it takes that I can't find or I may not use, I don't save it. I don't save the recipe. So I'll save the ones that I could probably tweak a little bit and make vegan, you know, because I like to make them my own. But we do, and this is funny, we have vegan cooking classes once a month, the first Monday of the month. And it gets a lot of people from the neighborhood to the church for the cooking. But the problem of it is they're not cooking vegan for the potlucks, and I don't understand why. They're not cooking vegan like they should. You would think that they'd want to. Some do, some don't. So you got to be really careful, you know, because you never know what you're going to get your hands on. But we do have a cooking class, and they're trying to help people live a little bit better. I have never gone to the cooking classes, but I know they're pretty good. You know, they have we have somebody in our church, I guess, that is the head of them, and it does all the cooking. So I guess they're awesome. So I'll have to go to one of them one of these times next month and see what they're all about. But anyway, this is what my cake looks like. I know this is going to be really good. I'm gonna cut into this as soon as it cools down. I want to get my dishes washed in a little bit so I can get them done. So I think I'm going to go for now so I can get done what I need to do and maybe walk the dogs. I don't know if it's too cold or not. But anyway, I hope you all have, and I'll hold this up to be my final shot. And I hope you all have a great and marvelous day. And until we meet again, take care. God bless. Love you all. And bye-bye.